Ready to have a deeper conversation about body and soul, sacred leadership, and our collective evolution? Welcome to the Wise Body Ancient Soul podcast with me, your host, Charisse Sisou. In today's episode, I revisit a tool I introduced in the first episode, this time with a bit more detail and some additional tips in terms of how to really ground in the body so that we can more clearly hear its messages and access our intuition. Enjoy. Stuck in indecision? Try this. So this is a tool I use all the time to just really get past all of our shoulds and woulds and coulds and thought pattern things to get to the core of, is this a yes or is this a no? And if the decision that you're looking at is a little bit more complicated than a yes or no, I'm going to give you a tool to adapt this for that as well. But here it is in a nutshell, okay? So great example. I'm a yes girl. I'm a, shiny thing. I go, yeah, I'm a quick start. I'm a joiner-upper. And, and I follow great and influential people. And so I'm constantly getting, hey, want to sign up for my program? Want to join my thing? And always feel that pull. Because there's a reason why I'm following them. There's something in what they're offering. Think, ooh, could that be really good? Here is how you get past, am I joining this for reasons other than, yes, this is exactly 100% what I need right now, next, in my business and life, right? First things first, to get quiet. I've got my feet solidly on the ground. It's helpful. So you're going to want to stand for this, right? And then just take a moment to really get in the body and quiet the mind. How the heck do you do that, right? Simple, breathe. Really root through your feet. So what I mean by that is feel the ground, feel the floor underneath your feet. If you're in a place where you can kick off your shoes and get barefoot, great. If not, don't worry, it's not necessary. But it just adds another layer of kind of visceral connectedness. What we're really wanting to do is just, there's a part of us that's always connected with the earth, right? You may call it your earth star, that chakra that's below the body, about 6 inches into the ground, that's connecting us there. You may simply just identify it as that part of us that's connected with all of life, right? So connecting down through your feet, breathing. And if you want to add that extra yumminess of alignment, connect with your soul star as well. This is the chakra. This is that energy center that's just a little bit above the body. When I really tune in, go align my earth star and my soul star. I just drop into this place that's less influenced by the busyness and the chatter. I also like to put a hand on my heart or my heart chakra, and a hand on my belly or my, you can put it on your solar plexus if you want, or, down more over your womb space. It really doesn't matter. The idea here is connecting with the body, connecting with the earth, connecting with, this point above us is this is really about connecting with all parts of our soul, including the parts that may not be in our physical body, right? And once you feel that, just a little bit of a stillness, a little bit of a quiet, a little bit of a calm, now you ask yourself the question. So in my example, I'm going to say, do I join this coaching program I was just reading about? Would this really fill me up, right? Is this my right next step? And then I just simply tune into the body and I wait for it to respond. Ooh, I got the same response twice because I just asked myself this off camera. What you're paying attention to, does your body sway gently forward or sway gently backwards? And what you may have seen is real subtle, sway gently backwards, okay? So try it yourself, right? Really sit into that decision, let it come into your body and go, is this the right step for me? And the sway may be subtle. You can also pay attention to other things like, does my energy do like a little like, right? Is there a flush? Is there a chill? Is there, goosebumps? Am I getting some kind of confirmation in the body like, yes, or does my energy kind of go like, right? Is there like a quieting, not a quieting, like almost like someone's like turning down the volume. It can be really subtle, but I love this. Like, we have a tendency when we want something, we lean into it. When we don't want something, we like pull away. Any body language expert will tell you that, right? If you're in a conversation with someone and you're like not liking it, we're going to pull away. We're going to like protect. We might cross our legs. We might angle our body away. Like, we'll pull away from that versus like lean into it, right? Where if we're really connecting with someone, you'll be open, your body language will be open, you'll be like leaning in, right? So it's just that. It's the thing that our body does naturally. Okay, great, Charisse. I'm going to try that. Like, yes or no. Oh my God, this is so helpful. Like every time I'm in the, you don't always have your shopping buddy with you to be like, to run your, like, hey, like, what do you think of these pants? So like, here's another hint. Okay. When you're out shopping with a buddy and you know that moment when you're like, oh my God, what do you think of this? And they go, I don't know. I don't really like it. And you have that feeling where you're like, okay, last time I asked you, that just gave you your answer, right? You were asking their opinion, but not really asking their opinion. You were asking them to validate the opinion you'd already formed. And had they been as enthusiastic as you were about that piece, you'd be like, yeah, but because they weren't, it was like, maybe you felt a little annoyed or a little bit like, who asked you? Except you just did, right? So again, it's because the answer is already there. We already know the answer. But often we have like chatter in that example of the store, like, oh, but it's on sale. Oh, but like we might have other things going on, of like why I should make this investment or, etc. Right? Okay. So yes, no. What about if it's a little bit more complicated than yes, no? This is a tool I learned a long time ago, and I also love it. And same kind of thing. You take let's say 2 alternatives. I've never tried it with 3. Really try to narrow it down to, okay, I'm considering these 2 options, right? And basically it's like whatever that decision is, you write it on, let's say like of these 2 options, you write a short phrase on each of 2 pieces of paper, like, I'm going to choose, almost everything does kind of come down to a yes, no, right? But let's say like, oh, I can't do yes, no, Charisse. Like, it's just, my life is just so much more sophisticated and clever and complicated than that. And I get it because I too am a complex goddess. So like, write that option on one piece of paper, write the option on the other piece of paper, and you're going to do the same thing. You're going to stand on that piece of paper. You're going to get quiet and calm and breathe and just tune in. Like, am I leaning forward? Am I leaning back? Is there a little frisson of excitement? Or do I feel kind of a wah-wah, right? Wah-wah. It can be really subtle. Like for me, sometimes it'll just be like, when I get on the option that's really not what I desire or is not my next step. And maybe it's just like not your next step right now, right? I tend to dream and, when the ideas come in and they come in plentifully, like they often are, my immediate thing is like, I want to do everything at once. And we can't, right? we could try, but it would scatter our energies. And what I've found is like, pick that one thing, one, max 3 things that are like, here's where I'm going to put my focus, right? And then above that, it just starts to get really scattering. Yeah. So you're going to stand on that piece of paper, hands on your body, breathing. How is my body feeling on this option versus the other option? And really feel in. Notice the subtle differences. When you put them side by side like that, that's when you really start to notice, oh, when I noticed when I stepped on this one, I felt a little constriction in my chest, like, right? What's that about? Or I noticed when I stepped on this one, like my heartbeat kind of went like, right? Like maybe sped up a little bit. And this is where it's not about like which one is creating like fear in the body, because often our big dreams will create some like, eek, and that is normal, right? It's really just tuning into where feels like that ease, like that yum, like that yes, and this may very well be something that you need to practice, right? So I would say is like, if this is a completely new tool for you, like, don't use this tool on like the biggest decision you need to make in your life right now. Like, do I stay or do I go? Like, right? Start small, okay? Because if this idea of like tapping your body's wisdom to help for clarity on that decision, first and foremost, the thing that you need to know about the body is like, she will not steer you wrong, right? Here is your truth, okay? There's no fooling the body. There just isn't. And we get a lot of program that leads us to detach from the body, dissociate from the body, ignore the body, put the body last, right? And so often when we start to get into these tools that are like, oh, you mean I could, like, maybe my body could help me make decisions in my business? Heck to the yes. What I can tell you is every time I ignored my body's wisdom, that's when I would like make mistakes and go, oh, because this is your connection with your intuition, right? Right here. That's why it's like, yeah. And maybe out of practice, we may have gotten used to like discounting, right? That those communications from the bodies, the surges of emotion, the flutterings of sensation, right? We may have learned to tune those out. So practice, right? Practice with the little things. Do I want a blueberry or a strawberry? You know what I mean? Low stakes shit, okay? Like, keep it simple. You're at the grocery store and you're like, do I want a kumquat or do I want a passion fruit? I don't know. Whatever you're deciding. Like, play with that. I do this even when I'm like touching and feeling all the produce, because I love to do that. And I love to smell it. And of course, I'm like, I have my tactics. I want that melon to be like heavier than it looks, right? That's like ripe and juicy. And I tune in is like, what is my body saying yes to? Good stuff. Very good stuff. So I'm curious. Try this out. Let me know how it goes for you. And I want to hear, what did you try? What decisions did you try this with? What ahas did you have? What I have found is that the more that I trust what's arising from the body versus what I'm imposing, right, on the situation, the more I do that, the more flow I have, the more ease I have, the more clarity I have. And it also it builds these trust pathways with the body, right? We've gotten a lot of messaging around, betrayed by our bodies turning against us, blah, blah, blah. That's all like, no. All right. This is your loyal consort with you from first breath to last. She would never turn against you. So what is it that she is longing to communicate with you? What messages might you be discounting or, not hearing because of that, love-hate relationship or a distancing relationship? So I'm excited to hear where you go with this. From my heart to yours, I love you. Take what you need and pass it on. Thanks for joining me on Wise Body, Ancient Soul. I hope it reminds you how powerful and magical you truly are. If you're looking to connect more deeply with the wisdom your body and soul carry, it would be my honor to guide you. Check out my website to learn how else we can play together. And if you feel so moved, kindly subscribe, rate, and review this podcast so more juicy light bringers like you can hear these transmissions. Here's to your joy and wild success. From my heart to yours, I love you. Take what you need and pass it on.